The peace deal, if it happens, there'll be more predictability in the market. But what do you think? It's going to happen or it's not going to happen?
I don't think it's going to happen.
I believe this entire chaos is done to prop up the stock markets in such a way that the Anthropic and OpenAI IPOs can go on smoothly. Google recently raised $85 billion by selling its equity. And by the way, SpaceX raised $75 billion. Basically, war is good for business.
Yes.
Meet Vivek Sehrawat, geopolitical analyst and one of India's fastest growing voices on global affairs. As global alliances shift and new conflicts reshape the world, the balance of power is changing before our eyes. And by the end of this conversation, you'll understand why.
In Israel, there's an absolute moment where why is this being allowed to happen? So Israel is not happy with it because they don't want this war to be over for now. Everybody's pro-war, but here's the thing, because this serves a longer purpose for USA. A perpetual war helps them do fear-mongering, serves their industrialization of military complex. So the question is, how long will this circus last? We are all like Cinderellas, hoping to get out at midnight, dancing in a room which has no clock. So where is India in all of this? Thing is, we can talk shit about Narendra Modi here, and we know that most likely we will not be jailed as democracy. अब China में Tiananmen Square की बात करके दिखा दो. Imagine protest on place like Jantar Mantar and your army comes and it just shoots people and it has just been eradicated. Every country is in that situation where they want to know more and social media is the best way. They're watching what you text, they're watching what you do. Basically, they know who you are, what you're doing in real time. Basically, they have access to all our WhatsApp and stuff. Now imagine doing the same with finances of people. So the theme of this podcast is investing through the chaos.
Okay.
Right? So how do you make money when there is chaos in the world? And in the last 12 months, it has been non-stop chaos.
Right.
So let's start with that and give me a quick download of what is happening right now as we're shooting in this episode.
So as we're shooting this, the biggest thing that is happening is, of course, the Iran war peace deal, which has been going on and off for like 2 months now. And Shehbaz Sharif just 2 days ago tweeted that, finally a deal has been reached and they're going to sign it in Switzerland in 2 days on the day of shooting we are talking about. And that will probably bring an end to this war. But here's the thing. He tweeted it before Trump tweeted it.
Okay.
And that's a very risky move to make. What if Trump didn't follow through and then you would have been like holding a bag of garbage where he's acting as mediator between two parties and none of them acknowledge it. But he took that risk, it played off because Iran for the first time also confirmed it. Now, one factor which everybody misses is Israel. Because this was a US-Israel axis attacking Iran. So US has confirmed, he has confirmed it multiple times. Iran has also finally confirmed. In Israel, there's an absolute moment where why is this being allowed to happen?
Okay, so Israel is not happy with this.
Israel is definitely not happy because they don't want this war to be over for now. For the first time, let's say in a country, everybody's pro-war. That's Israel. They don't want this war to stop till Iran has completely run out of any kind of ammunition to make any kind of nukes. So in this entire chaos, they are going to probably sign the deal. And even after the deal is signed, they might go back on it and we might see, shooting start again because that was happened last year.
Yeah.
So I believe this entire chaos is done to prop up the stock markets in such a way that the Anthropic and OpenAI IPOs can go on smoothly. And only once the earliest investors in OpenAI, in Anthropic, in SpaceX have made them money, and then they can allow the market to collapse. Also, we all keep talking about Anthropic, OpenAI, SpaceX IPO, but what we miss is Google almost also had a second IPO. How is that possible? Google recently raised $85 billion by selling its equity for the first time since June 2005. You tell me, the most cash-rich company on earth needed to sell equity to raise $85 billion. And by the way, SpaceX raised $75 billion. So the amount of money Google raised was almost same as the amount of money SpaceX raised by doing an IPO. And hold your breath, out of those $85 billion, nearly $30 billion would be used to pay employee taxes. There are companies who would do every kind of trick in the book to not pay taxes. And now they're selling their company to pay taxes.
Why?
Exactly, because they know they're at peak valuations. This is the best time to exit. And we had seen this script play out during the dot-com bubble as well. Larry Ellison had sold his stocks at the peak of dot-com bubble to pay taxes. And then there was an insider trading case against him because he had seen, he had an indicator of the earnings of Oracle. He knew when these earnings would go public, the stocks would crash, and that triggered the dot-com bubble crash. So before the report became public of lower than expectations earning, Larry Ellison sold his stock. It only gives one explanation, that they know it's at peak, best to get out right now. And markets need to be sustainable, not just for Google, for SpaceX, but also for Anthropic and OpenAI. Because if this stock crashes, SpaceX stock, the way Tesla crashed, like Tesla opened on $17, at bell close it was at $23, but 1 year later, it was trading at $5. Adjust that for stock splits, it is nearly $1. So Tesla stock crashed very hard. If the same thing happens to SpaceX, Anthropic and OpenAI IPO will either be delayed or it will be completely put off.
Yeah.
Because why would they want to raise money in a market which is dying? They would want to raise money at cuckoo valuations.
Yes.
Which is what is happening in the world of AI. And this Iran thing keeps coming like out of syllabus. Like, why can't you guys just chill? Let us just exit. Let us make our money. Let us dump it on the retail investors and let them be left with holding a bag of garbage.
SpaceX IPO just happened.
Yes.
And this happened after the news was announced that US and Iran are going
No. It happened while the war was going on.
While the war is going. But they still did a blockbuster IPO.
Absolute blockbuster IPO. They had the right, they had everything going on. But if you know SpaceX IPO, I don't think these valuations are justified unless you have extreme high hopes that market will keep going up.
Yeah.
And that's what, by the way, happened in 1920s. Everybody in 1920s thought that they have, found out this infinite money glitch.
Yeah.
That is the stock market.
Yeah.
You buy it at 10, 100% you're getting out at 20.
Yeah.
In fact, what we have buy now, pay later scheme, there was a president of Citigroup, I'm forgetting his name. He invented almost like a buy now, pay later thing for retail investors in 1920s.
To invest in the markets.
Yes. Like you have $1, you have $2, I will leverage the rest. You invest $100. Then you make 200. Give me my 100, you pocket $102 by investing just $2.
Brokerage apps are doing this, right?
Yes, we are at the same place.
Yeah.
They are offering you money. I'm not taking any platform names, but within the platform, okay, we are giving you pre-approved loan of 10 lakh rupees. What would you do from a pre-approved loan on a brokering platform? You would invest in that.
Yeah.
But the promise of ever long, ever bull market would be like, no matter how much you invest, you'll make more because the markets always go up. This is such a parallel. So they need the markets to go up maybe before the smart money has made its move and it has exited. And everybody knows this SpaceX IPO was an exit strategy for the earliest investors.
True. In fact, as on the day that we are speaking, since the IPO, it's been what? Almost 4 or 5 days?
Yeah, it's gone up.
It's up 30% up.
Yes.
So when retail investors are looking at this, like I was looking at it and I was like, yes, before the IPO, I was like, this is overvalued. I'm not going to buy this. I'm going to lose money. Retail investors are going to be dumb. And I'm looking at my screen. It's 30% up. I'm like, shit. If I had put 1 crore, I'd have made 30 lakhs in 1 week. That's how I'm thinking now.
Everybody's
going to be thinking like this.
Yes,
so
yes,
that's how it grows.
Yes.
Right? It builds and a lot of people start putting in money.
Yep. And the rule changes that they made, like SpaceX IPO would now be allowed in NASDAQ 100 in a period of, I think, 15 days. Initially, that period used to be 3 months.
Yeah.
It'll be allowed in NASDAQ 100 in 15 days. Now, if you have an index fund tracker, you are invested in index, whether you want it or not, you will be purchasing SpaceX IPO.
Yes.
And where is the most of the pension money of US people?
In these indexes.
In these index funds. So even if they don't want SpaceX, they are buying SpaceX.
Yeah.
And you know what is the worst time to buy a stock? When your taxi driver is talking about it.
Yeah.
Everybody's talking about SpaceX IPO. In fact, there's a very good anecdote. John F. Kennedy's father, I think his name was Robert Kennedy. He said that he got to know about the 1929 crash is going to come when the shoe shining boy was giving him stock tips. That's when I realized it's bonkers. Like when everybody's getting greedy, you step back, you sell. And when everybody's panicking, you get aggressive. Warren Buffett said something like that.
Right. But then the question is that at the end of the day, it's like a momentum, right? And money can be made in momentum as well. So the question is, how long will this circus last? Because Anthropic is yet to come. OpenAI is yet to come.
Yes.
So the question and retail investors, because today retail investors have become smart, right? A lot of people understand that, okay, these things are being dumped on us.
Yes.
But even then they'll be like, let's put 1 lakh, let's put 2 lakh. Because since everybody's investing, I will make money. They are thinking that I will be the smart one who gets off before the dumb money comes.
Yes.
But they're all dumb money chasing the next dumb money, right? So the question is, how long can this rally last? What is your thesis?
Nobody can tell you when a bubble will pop, because that's what precisely makes it a bubble.
Yeah.
We are all like Cinderellas, hoping to get out at midnight,
Yeah.
dancing in a room which has no clock. Nobody can precisely tell you. You can just look at fundamentals, you just look at indicators, and you can be like, ha bhai. And you know what? Human psychology is not that different. When the first bubble popped, which was the Dutch tulip syndrome, you know about that?
Yes, yes.
So what was happening? There were people who would, putting in the life saving and making 3x in a week. Trading on what? The Dutch tulips. At some point, somebody just realized they're just tulips, man.
Yeah.
And what the FOMO was like, there's an aristocratic woman, there's a lady who used to work in his home, and now she's attending, let's say, an opera, and the cleaning lady has a better seat than her. Because she made money in that momentum. Imagine the FOMO that will give. Like one successful story will invite hundreds more applications. But all it takes is one panic selling. One massive panic selling. Because you know what? Financial fires spread faster than forest fires.
But generally this panic selling, while we call it a bubble, that, all of a sudden things went to shit. But there are a few people who are on the inside who knows what is happening. And those are the people who are privy to information which is not public.
Larry Ellison.
Right? So do you have some kind of insights along those lines which could indicate that, okay, if this happens, then chances of a bubble is very high. So tell me in terms of what Trump is doing, because we all know that Trump is pro-business.
Yes.
Right? And he obviously is talking to more entrepreneurs right now, right? Than any of us. And he wants American businesses to succeed. So in a way, he is doing things which seem like he's mad, but actually it's well thought out decisions which we can't see it fully.
Right.
But because those are closed room discussions with entrepreneurs in the US, and they want the entire US to flourish and take over the world.
Yeah.
So can you connect those two things and give me some unique insights?
Talk about Genius Act.
Genius Act.
Yeah, he signed it last year. What Genius Act basically does, it pegs any stable coin based in US to $1. Like 1:1 pegging is there. So for example, you want to purchase these headphones.
Okay.
Let's say they cost $100.
Okay.
So currently strategy, but like the thing would be like you have $100 in your pocket or in a bank account, you transfer it to the owner of the headphones and they give it to you. There's a transaction based in dollars. But what Trump wants now, or US wants now, is for the transaction to happen in stable coins. Right? Instead of buying this in US dollars, you buy it via stable coins. Now what happens is that since that pegging is 1:1. So instead of if I have $100, I'm making money in dollars, I'm getting my salary, my profits, whatever in dollar, I go to a stablecoin minter and say that, okay, I'm giving you $100, give me $100 worth of stablecoins, which will be 100 stablecoins because there's a 1:1 pegging.
This is like USDT or
USDT, USDC. And Genius Act says that that company which is issuing these stablecoins need to maintain high quality liquid assets, which is basically jargon for US Treasury bonds, basically for maintaining US cash hard.
So Tether would be a company.
Yes, who would be required to maintain, let's say, X amount of dollars in Treasury bills or whatever, if they are supplying X amount of stable coins.
Yes.
So when I purchased, let's say, 100 stable coins, I essentially purchased US Treasury bonds worth $100.
Okay.
So the US debt got shifted from hard dollars into cryptocurrency. All right.
Yeah.
Now, currently what happens is that most of the people who are, let's say, trading in treasury bonds and all, they are institutions. They are central banks. Rarely people like me, you and people sitting in this room trade in treasury bonds.
Yeah.
But if we start purchasing stable coins, we start using stable coins to, let's say, pay for a pizza or this headphone, we indirectly become purchasers of the treasury bonds. So the US debt, which is basically this treasury bond, gets trickled down to retail level. Everybody becomes a creditor to US government. Everybody. Okay. That's okay for me because why? I have this stable coin. I did essentially the same thing and I got this commodity because it is 1:1 pegging. Genius Act says that. But What if at any point Trump says, guess what, from today, the pegging is 10:1.
Okay.
That by giving $100, you're only getting 10 stable coins.
He can change that.
He can change that. And I'll tell you how they did it. Earlier, this thing still cost $100. So when I had $100, I could just purchase it. When I had 100 stable coins, I could just purchase it. But with just one signature, if they change it to 10:1, I need 10x more stable coins. My purchasing capacity just went down 90%. And that can happen. It's like, how can that happen? Because that's what happened in 1934 when they brought in the Gold Reserve Act. In 1934, the official rate of gold was around $25 per ounce. Okay, so you have 1 ounce of gold, you are worth $25. I have $25, I am worth 1 ounce of gold. Right?
Yeah.
Simple as that. Gold Reserve Act comes, US government says, fuck it. Now the rate is $35 per ounce. You have 1 ounce of gold. From $25, you suddenly became worth $35. I had $25. I was worth 1 ounce of gold. Now I'm no longer worth 1 ounce of gold. We were at the same level before that signing happened, but with just one signature, your purchasing power went up like 40%. My purchasing power went like 60%, went down like 60%. The same thing they will do with stable coins.
Why would people want to use stable coins when they have actual dollars?
That's where Clarity Acts come.
What Act?
Clarity Act.
Clarity Act. Okay.
Yes, Clarity Act is another act which will be passed. Genius Act is already there. Clarity Act says that every company will essentially be allowed to make stable coins. Let's say you have an Apple iPhone, you want to purchase some app, you want to purchase, you want to pay for a YouTube premium membership, you want to pay for your gym membership, whatever. One way is that you route that money through your bank account and then the app gets paid. Another way, which is costing you exactly the same, you put your money in Apple money. You give, let's say, 10,000 rupees to Apple, and then that money just gets deducted from Apple money. The benefit is that once you are doing, routing it through your bank accounts, it opens a different web page. It makes you enter your phone number. It then makes you enter an OTP, and then the transaction is complete. But if you just simply add, let's say, 10,000 rupees in your Apple money at the starting of the month, whenever you want to purchase something, it just asks you to do a double click.
Yeah, that's what I do.
So easy.
Yeah. Face scan.
Right? Exactly.
Yeah.
Now, let's say Apple says, you know what? Hey, guess what? I'm bringing out these Apple stable coins.
Okay.
Now, instead of giving me, you're giving me 10,000 rupees, I'm giving you 10,000 Apple coins. Earlier in 10,000 rupees, you would get nothing. It was just money sitting in my account, my bank, your Apple account. But on these stable coins, we will be offering you better cashbacks.
Okay.
We will be offering you, let's say, 0.5% cashback. You'll be like, yeah, I will purchase Apple stable coins.
Yeah.
Why not? And they also somehow make it more convenient to transact, something more rewarding. I'll talk about that. And you'll be, of course, inclined to purchase Apple because for you, it's practically the same thing and more rewarding. Let's just also start offering you tax breaks on it. You'll be all good, right?
Yeah.
There at the back end, once you've purchased those Apple stable coins, if Clarity Act is passed, which it will be, Apple would be purchasing equal amount of US Treasury bills. On those Treasury bills, they will be making like 4% return.
But why are they buying Treasury bills? Like I gave my money to Apple, 10,000 rupees. They gave me 10,000 Apple coins. You're saying with that 10,000 rupees, they're buying US Treasury bills?
Yes, because that's what the Clarity Act would be. If anybody can be allowed to purchase, anybody can be allowed to bring out their stable coins. Read with Genius Act, if you're bringing out a stable coin as a company based in USA, you have to buy equal amount of Treasury bills.
Okay, that's
the law.
Okay.
Right now, that pegging is 1:1. So Apple takes my money, purchase Treasury bills. It makes 4% return on those Treasury bills, let's say.
In dollar terms.
Yes. And gives me 0.5% cashback.
Yeah.
It is still pocketing 3.5 rupees.
Yeah.
3.5%.
Yeah.
Win-win. I'm also getting money. They're also getting money. And what does this do? It makes crypto extremely ubiquitous. Everybody is using stable coins. Now what happens? At the same time, they also build a surveillance system. That you know what? You are having this phone in your hand. Everything that you gets routed through Apple. Now, similar thing is done by Starbucks. Coffee you want to buy, you are again purchasing some stable coins. You want to buy a Lexus, Toyota brings out its stable coins. Every purchase that you make is via some stable coins. And they can probably also be interoperated in the future. So your whole world is run by these stable coins, which is in turn backed by US Treasury bills. Everybody on planet Earth, so as to speak, becomes a creditor of the US government. Their debts get transferred to crypto world. Okay, and you are also happy because, hey, you're getting extra cashbacks. It's more convenient and they're also making good returns. But US government just offloaded its debt to the entire world. Win-win so far. Second step, there are cameras everywhere. Everything you're doing is getting routed through your phone and they're watching what you text, they're watching what you do. And they know who you are, what you're doing in real time.
So basically, they have access to all our WhatsApp messages.
They do. Of course, this is like not even...
Yeah.
And they are so high up. I'm saying you go to any local thana here. Okay? Let's say you have lost your phone or let's say somebody in your family is missing and all. You give it to some, let's say, cyber crime cell, which is nothing compared to the technologies these guys have. And वो बता देगा आपने क्या chat करी थी WhatsApp पे.
Okay.
ये technology तो इतनी common है.
Right.
I guess software, this is so common. We'll talk about that as well. So they build this surveillance system where they know everything. So now you are completely in their crypto cloud. Every transaction is getting done through that. So you're part of that ecosystem and you are being absolutely watched. Every move that you make can be tracked. And that's where step 3 comes. They can manipulate you. They can control you like whenever. You just spend excessive money on gas guzzling car. That's not environment friendly. You're going to destroy the planet. Guess what? No more airplane tickets for you for next 1 year.
They can do that.
They will do that. Because you're getting routed through their system. Any purchase you're making is through an app which has issued stable coins. Those stable coins will be logged out. You purchase too much meat. This is consuming so much water. We won't allow you to purchase meat for the next 3 weeks. You just can't do it.
But I am using Indian companies. So how can a US company control what I do with Indian companies?
So that's what the objective is, to ultimately bring it to the entire world. And if USA does it, other governments will follow suit. Because what more does a government want more than to control your money, to control your thought processes? Look at your social media.
Okay, you're saying that Trump will tell the other country leaders that this is what I've been able to achieve.
And everybody will try to copy it.
I'm controlling my citizens, you also control.
No, he won't tell anyone, but everybody would want to do it.
Yeah, every political leader would want to control the citizens.
Dictatorial concentration of powers is the natural course of human civilization.
Yes.
You put anybody on a pedestal, that person eventually ends up becoming a dictator.
That's human nature.
Oh, yes, that's human nature. And it can be me, it can be you, it can be anybody. You just put somebody on so much pedestal, give them so much power, they would want more. Every country is in that situation where they want to know more, and social media is the best way. Now imagine doing the same with finances of people. Why would everybody not want to do it?
So tell me about that. I'm interested.
So you get that. You are in that ecosystem where every transaction you make is getting routed through cryptos. And even though you are saying you're an Indian living in India, but look around the products you use. Your iPhone is American. It's an American company. The car you use can be German, it can be Japanese, it can be anybody. But a lot of banking that you do would be through Americans. The products you consume, let's say Starbucks, it will be an American company, starting from the electronic accessories you produce, you consume, to the products you use on your skin, to the clothes you wear, everything can be routed through some corporates, and a lot of them would be American. For example, there was this experiment in 1996. Zell and Meyer did this experiment. We said that whenever you make some payment now, some mild pain receptors are activated in your brain.
Mild pain
receptors.
Okay.
Just imagine when you are giving money to somebody, psychologically there's some pain you're feeling. You're parting with money.
Yeah.
So that's not good. Corporates want you to feel happy while you're making payment. Also, they want the process of payment to be completed as soon as possible. You need there to be minimum hurdles. Like we're just talking about it. When you're making payment via Apple, if there is one option, Apple Money, just the payment is made. Yeah. Other option is you enter your card details, then comes an OTP, and then you enter the OTP, and then it takes more time. It gives you more time to think.
Oh.
They don't want to part with money. It's a very psychological thing.
Interesting.
So Zell and Meyer conduct this experiment. That it's best if you provide these two things to customers. First of all, is you make the process of payment much smoother, much faster, it's over before you know it. And that's how credit cards were born. And second, you make the process extremely rewarding. And that's how cred was born. Once you make a payment, you get a cash back.
Yeah.
Once the spin it just makes you happy.
Yeah.
You want to make that payment.
Yeah.
And suddenly, the mild pain receptors, which are activated in your brain, are suppressed. That's one psychology every corporate plays on you. And that's how credit cards and UPIs and now cred is born. And second is decoupling.
Okay.
Like you touch cash only when you want to transact money. There is no other use. You don't use cash to, put pictures out there. You don't use cash to, talk to your friends. Cash is only money. So anytime you touch cash, whether to make payment, you remember about those pain receptors. They're activated more. And that's where credit cards came in. Credit cards are not cash. You still have some cards in your bank. For example, there's a Metro card. There can be a calling card, a business card. So the coupling of any card in your hand is not just with money. Lesser pain receptors activated compared to cash, which is just payment. That is great decoupling. But it's, even better decoupling, paying by your phone. You use your phone like 8 hours a day to text, to surf internet, to talk to your friends, to upload pictures, to everything that you do is done via phone. So if you're just making one payment, scanning a QR code, it is just another phone related activity. Greater decoupling. And you can be controlled. Like I lost my Instagram recently. Okay. So I was logged out because some bogus pluggers from Pakistan said that, okay, you are doing this. And the AI had a false positive flag.
Okay.
That I am going against their community standards. Not just because of one decision made by AI and which I was not even part of. I could not even consult it. I was logged out of the system. And what that did, it just took away a social media platform from me. Now imagine this happening to your car. You can't access your car because you said something which the government thinks is anti-national. Imagine this happening to your bank accounts. You can't access your own money because let's say you did something which is anti-environment. Imagine this happening to your passport. You can't travel because they found that the person you have employed in your office to serve coffee is underage. Or any reason that they can think of. You will be locked down like anything. Every aspect of your life will be controlled. And if this sounds conspiratorial, like conspiracy theory to you, I'm telling you this is already happening. Already happening. And they need it more because they want to train their AI more. The biggest problem with AI now, which is going to come in future, is that since AI is trained on data, earlier they took social media data, Reddit data without even asking Reddit.
Yeah.
And then they took licenses. Yeah. Is that now they are seeing that so much data on internet is AI generated. So AI is getting trained on data which is AI generated.
Which is not good.
Which is not good at all. It will not improve. So which data is least likely to be AI generated? It's your personal chats. We need access to your personal chats to train the AI further.
So that's Facebook has it.
Facebook, yeah, they ended end-to-end encryption. And even if WhatsApp claims it is end-to-end encryption, I fucking doubt it. There's no way there's end-to-end. I'll tell you this episode from, I don't know the year. There was this guy who was traveling from, I think, Britain to Spain. Okay? He was British, Indian origin British. And he just said, he sent a snap to his close friends group on Snapchat that I have a bomb and I will blow up this plane. It was like a fun thing, like something he just said it out of stupidly. And when the flight took off, 2 F-16s of Spanish government were flanking that plane.
Wow.
In real time, they were able to intercept what Snapchat claimed was end-to-end encrypted. And it was not even posted publicly, that some friend might have reported it. It was in a fucking group chat. And they intercepted like that. Do you really think they're not reading everything that you're saying? This phone that is kept here, this phone, this camera, this internet, do you really think they're not listening to you? And you couple that with Genius Act, with Clarity Act, they can control your money, they can understand what you're saying, they can control every aspect of your life. And they will do it. But that's not it, they will not stop there. As I was telling you, 1:1 pegging in Genius Act. Okay. Imagine just like overnight changing it 10:1. I said that I wanted to buy this earphone, cost $100. I have $100. Now via Genius Act, I have 100 stable coins. I can purchase these 100 stable coins. Suddenly Trump would be like, okay, you know what? Your $100 are not worth 100 stable coins. They're just worth 10 stable coins. But this thing still cost $100. And this will be the best way USA will make sure de-dollarization never happens. Because they just transferred their dollars into the entire public. The best way to make any currency, reserve currency, is to make it extremely in demand. But that's what petrodollars was. Everybody wants crude oil. Hey, you got to have crude oil, you got to buy it in US dollars. A constant demand for US dollars. Now, via Crypto Act, via this Genius Act, everything is being purchased in stable coins, and most of the companies are based in USA. So Genius Act forces Clarity Act, read with Genius Act, forces them to buy equal amount of US treasuries. So this system creates a perpetual demand for dollars again. So I like it or not, if I want to purchase my Apple subscriptions, you want to pay for my Amazon Prime videos. If I want to buy my Nike Jordans, it's rewarding for me to do it via stable coins, via Nike coins, Apple coins, Amazon coins. And if I'm doing that, I'm automatically buying US Treasury bonds. So there's a constant, never-ending demand for US dollars. And that's how US dollars survives as the global reserve currency, with or without crude oil. Why would they not do it? And it's already in place. An amazing thing, there's another Lumens Act, where they are building a strategic Bitcoin reserve.
Okay.
So as countries have crude oil reserves, they have LPG reserves, which we should talk about because what happened with us, the LPG crisis. So Trump said that, he signed an executive act saying that we will have strategic Bitcoin reserves. They will have Bitcoins as like a strategic reserve. Like, okay, what will you do with that and how will you fund it? Lumens Act, not yet passed, proposes that we will have approximately 1 million Bitcoin by 2029 in US Treasury, in US strategic Bitcoin reserve. Take care. But 1 million Bitcoin, then it will require some funding. You have to purchase it. Taxpayers will be funding it. No. The Lumens Act proposes that these strategic Bitcoin reserves would be funded by, hold your breath, confiscation and seizures. It will find that you did something wrong and you violated some laws, you are a convict. So whatever Bitcoin you had, US government will seize it and it becomes property of the US government. And it is rumored that they got nearly 6 lakh Bitcoins from Venezuela when they took off Maduro. And they were also targeting Iran. Iran unofficially has like 3 lakh Bitcoins and they wanted their Bitcoin as well.
This is the government holding this?
Yes. Because they transact, Bitcoin is a very good way to circumvent the US sanctions. Russia did it during the Ukraine war and Iran did it every time. So that's great. So, and even before Venezuela happened, US government via 3 different cases had confiscated nearly 3.5 lakh Bitcoins. So they are building up this strategic reserve. And another way they will finance it is by revaluation of their gold. So US government has like 8,000 tons of gold.
Fort Knox,
yeah. But you know where, at what rate it is priced at?
Back the 1960s.
1973.
1973.
That's $43 per ounce. Today the rate of gold is what? Is nearly 100x that. So if US government just via one signature says that, you know what, they will revalue gold, man. What will happen? Gold will skyrocket.
Well, why have they not done it yet?
I think they will do it at the right time when other avenues have closed, and because the time they do it, dollar becomes extremely weak. And they want their dollar to be weak because that's how they stay competitive in exports. That's how they make their debt worthless. They have nearly $40 trillion of debt. But if the currency weakens, that debt effectively becomes less. So you revalue gold, your balance sheet suddenly becomes healthier. Your 8,000 tons of gold is valued at more. And then you use that balance sheet to borrow more. And that money will be used to purchase strategic Bitcoin reserves. So any of this happens, which it will happen, gold goes up, Bitcoin goes up. So to answer your question, which you asked like half an hour ago,
yeah,
what would somebody do? My speculation in the long run would be, and I'm not a financial advisor, so like take it with a pinch of salt, is that gold and BTC would highly go up.
Gold and Bitcoin is going to go up.
Don't hold cash. Abhi ke liye, I would say hold cash. If the crash is going to come, hold your cash, sit on to it, maybe follow Warren Buffett. But my personal investment strategy is gold and BTC, what I'm really bullish about. Ab gold mein bhi dekho, see, right now if you're talking today, I checked 145 is the rate, Indian INR mein. If your strategy like today is 145, I'm going to sell when it touches 150, तो मैं तो कहूँगा भाई gold में भी रुकी जाओ अभी. But if you're a long-term investor in gold, which I am, कि आज मैंने खरीदा है, मैं 5-10 साल तो नहीं बेच रहा.
So gold is like down 6.5% in the last 1 month. And a lot of people are like, do I exit gold now?
Exactly. But if you are a long-term investor like me, so I have a simple philosophy. It's cheap the day when you purchased it. जिस दिन ले लेना उस दिन सस्ता है. If you're not a day trader, कि it's 145, I'll sell it 150. If you're not that, for me, gold is a very smart investment.
So you said Bitcoin will go up.
Long term, yes.
Long term, yes. So abhi Bitcoin has crashed significantly. I think it's in the mid $40,000. So now it's a good time to buy, according to you?
Are you a long term investor?
Yeah, I'm
say yes.
Always a long term.
I would say yes. Because as we were just talking about these crypto things, but USA is building a strategic Bitcoin reserve. Whatever I'm talking about, I'm taking a long term horizon. I'm not talking about ki abhi short term mein kya hoga. No. I'm taking a long-term horizon. If USA is building a strategic Bitcoin reserve, USA is going to transfer its debt to the crypto cloud. USA is going to bring out Clarity Act. So there will be more excitement, more acceptance of any kind of cryptocurrency. OG is Bitcoin. So by that simple logic, it will go up.
So actually, let's do this fun exercise.
Okay.
So because you study geopolitics every day, you really know where every country stands. So as of today, on a scale of 1 to 10, tell me how powerful is US, China, India, and Russia on a scale of 1 to 10?
Economically speaking, US is the most powerful that is out there still.
So like I want to know the relative strength.
Okay, I will tell you dollar as a reserve currency. How much of reserve currency of dollar in circulation is nearly 56%. 56% of all the reserve currency in all the world is still dollar. People talk about de-dollarization since China is a threat. Guess what percentage is it for China?
I think single digit.
2%. Yeah.
2%. Okay.
It's 2%.
Okay.
Euro is a close second, but that's 20%.
Euro is 20%.
Yes.
Okay.
And USA, as we're discussing, will make demand for dollar more. The only way you make a currency reserve currency is that you make a global perpetual demand for it. और बन गई reserve currency, सबको ही आपकी currency चाहिए और हमेशा ही चाहिए तो सब आपकी currency लेंगे. You are a reserve currency. That's what petrodollars did. US is going to do the same thing with what we were just discussing. So, reserve currency dollar की रहेगी. अगर आपकी currency सबसे बड़ी है, तो आप हो economically सबसे powerful. And plus, आपकी corporate सारी है. US companies are there in every country, but not every country's company are in US. China is coming up fast. Let's say BYD. अगर BYD पे import duties हट जाएं, that auto, BYD car is the Auto D3. So, if the import duties are removed, that car is worth nearly a Scorpio N.
Okay.
Why would I purchase a Scorpio N or an XEV when I'm getting a such better car at the same price? So, China technologically has advanced greatly. And that can be a threat because those companies will take over global businesses.
Yeah.
But the biggest market is still USA. Whatever you manufacture, you cannot sell without USA. And if you are accessing US markets, you can be sanctioned. Tariffs can be put on you. And that's, once again, USA becomes economically extremely powerful. Because वो आज भी है सबसे बड़ी market. China, of course, is coming up fast. But it's nowhere even close. And China के real numbers किसी को पता भी तो नहीं है ना. So, economically, USA will be ahead. At least, जो ये Clarity Act, Luminous Act और Genius Act हो जाएगी, 2 generation तो कहीं नहीं जा रहे. और उसके बाद कुछ और खेल लेंगे.
So where is India in all of this strategy?
India
Are
economically
we even relevant in this game?
Of course we are relevant because we have the maximum numbers. We have the biggest emerging middle class. We are the best success story when it comes to taking a country from lower economic sections to middle class and, higher income group while being a democracy. People just miss this part. They just take it for granted.
Which part? The democracy?
Yes. Thing is, we can talk shit about Narendra Modi here. We can talk shit about Dharmendra Pradhan or anyone. And we know that most likely, we will not be jailed just for talking shit. That's democracy. आप China में Tiananmen Square की बात करके दिखा दो. People forget what that event was, yaar. Imagine a protest on place like Jantar Mantar and your army comes and it just shoots people.
Yeah. Yeah.
Just understand. And it was not like it was like 500 years ago, Alauddin Khilji did burn, Bakhtiyar Khilji burned. Dude, it was in our lifetime.
Yeah.
Most of my friends were born
Yeah.
during that time, were alive. And it has just been eradicated. So India is a very good place where you want to have transparent business deals. Where India is lacking is definitely the AI story.
Yeah.
कि हमारा वो AI pitch है ही नहीं. Like Johnson Young said that AI is a 5-layered cake. At the bottom,
Sorry, AI is a?
5-layered cake.
Okay.
At the bottom is the chips. Like you need those chips to, promulgate AI-enabled devices everywhere. उनके बिना कुछ नहीं चल सकता. This has a chip, this has a chip, everything has a chip. Okay. US is very far ahead in chip manufacturing thanks to NVIDIA and its control over TSMC and all the factors put in place. But that's also a good discussion. I'll tell you where China can come. So chips mein, like US is very high. They have the highest, latest generation chips and everybody is very far ahead. Second is infrastructure. That's where China is very powerful because none of this can happen without massive data centers, without massive amount of water supply and electricity. China is very powerful.
In energy production.
In electricity production. Third is your applications. Like what do you do with
I think
that?
I think even SpaceX's vision is energy production, no? In satellites.
Yes. And also space data centers.
Yeah.
That would be really cool, right?
They're trying to get those 2 layers.
Yes. And that's where the valuations are justified in terms of what SpaceX is doing.
So that was the second layer. What is the third layer?
Third layer is the data set.
Huh.
That's where we can be really useful.
I think that is where India is doing
Yeah, because we have massive amounts of data.
Yeah.
Recently there was this case where a woman was paid $250 to clean houses just by putting a smartphone on her head. You remember? 2 days ago.
To make robots out of it.
Yes.
So that's the data they want.
Yeah. Bhai, I'm telling you that the reason why AI, they need access to your data. Abhi bhi come data thodi hai, but the problem is that most of the data, if you search any article or anything, more likely than not, it will be written by an AI. So AI cannot be trained on AI data, and that's where they need it. And that's why this chatbot has become like a sex chatbot. They want access to your more intimate thoughts. So everything is about just getting access to your data. And that's where India can be very good pitch because we have massive people and massive numbers generate massive data and we will always be required for that.
So data centers is basically there to get all of this data and store it for the AI to be trained on.
Process it.
So India is ahead on that front. Are we doing something?
Not data center front, but this AI summit which recently happened, that's where announcements have been made.
The AI summit where Modi and they did all of this.
Yeah. Yes, so see, that's the power of PR, man. That's all. This is all that they remember. People forgot that they actually deals with 100, I think, maybe million, $100 million worth of, or maybe billion. I'm not sure about billion because it changes the scale. But massive deals were signed just for data centers in India.
So coming back to that conversation. So third is data center. What is other layers?
Applications.
Okay.
What do you do with the data? What kind of processes you do? And usme again, China is very high up.
So then basically India's story is very limited when it comes to AI.
Yes.
So should we even invest in Indian companies?
For sure. Even without AI, irrespective of AI, growth will be there. TCS recently did sign a deal with NVIDIA. It will help with this back-end technology. So even that will help them. And AI also is not a ubiquitous answer. For example, yesterday only a news came, Pizza Hut was sold for near, I think, 25,000 crore rupees.
Okay.
That was the deal. But before that, a news came that Pizza Hut conglomerate who was operating nearly 130 stores in, I think, Northwest America, sued Dragontail for $300 million. Dragontail was an AI-enabled delivery partner. So what Dragontail did was that he said that we will, manage all your deliveries and the way you organize this entire structure via AI. And DoorDash was just the delivery partner. It did one thing. Dragontail gave access to DoorDash delivery partners to their kitchen. That a rider could see in lifetime when a pizza is going inside oven and when it is coming out. It's a very simple thing. And everybody thought this will make the process efficient. It'll make the process faster. What it did was that when a rider, ideally before Dragontail used to come, get the pizza, pick it up, go, deliver, come back. But now since he has a live feed access, he saw that there's a second order coming. I can see that order going inside oven right now. I know that within 4 minutes or 5 minutes, it will be ready again. How about instead of delivering this first order, I just wait in the lobby for another 7 minutes and I pick up second order, and that's how in the same time duration or almost the same, I delivered 2 orders. I make double the money.
Yeah.
They started doing it. Or what happens? The first order they collected, it started getting cold.
Oh.
Started reaching customers
Late.
messed up.
And
They were furious. They started getting a lot of negative reviews. And Pizza Hut for their life could not figure out what are we doing wrong. They audited everything. Their suppliers have changed some ingredient. Something has gone wrong with cardboard boxing because they were saying it's coming cold. Wo taste nahi hai, wo taste. And it was this thing. An AI partner, by just giving this one simple feature, messed up their entire profits. And a lot of people, a lot of companies who had fired so many people because of the AI wave now are rehiring. So वो जो rehiring होगी back-end work के लिए, वो India की as always IT export opportunity है.
I think GCCs are hiring a lot in India.
Yes. So that is where we can come in. But yes, we are like very
Limited opportunities.
Yes, true.
So, long story short, the trade deal, the peace deal, if it happens, good. There will be more predictability in the market. But what do you think? It's going to happen or it's not going to happen?
I don't think it's going to happen.
Not gonna happen.
Yeah, look, it will be like a historic signature happening in Switzerland for the optics of it. That can happen on Friday. ठीक है, but I think this war will restart again. What people fail to understand, even if this peace deal happens, let's say the Strait of Hormuz opens, so much oil infrastructure has been damaged. The supply does not come out overnight. The oil fields are closed. The pressure is gone. It's not like a water tap. If you close it, you suddenly open it. This pressure needs to rebuild.
So, how was it destroyed?
Iran attacked it.
Iran attacked all of that.
Yeah. It has attacked so much, and not just oil facility, dude. Imagine they attacked Amazon offices, data centers. Like, this was literally that one move that USA wanted to, play it, Israel wanted to play it below a threshold. But Iran was saying that we are ready to up the ante how much ever you do. That was literally calling out the bluff ki you are attacking our civilian military facilities, na? We will attack your civilian. Do what you do. Even the Kharg Island, USA when attacked it, that Kharg Island is such a crown jewel for Iran. Any attack was not taken out on the oil facilities. It was on military infrastructure. Ki bhai wo hai. Iran attacks civilian facilities. Ki tum karke to dekho. You're calling out my bluff. You want to test how bad can it get. And that's their problem. They never expected Iran to first of all last this long. They didn't expect them to have so much heart, and they did not expect that the regime is so popular that, even if Khamenei dies, people would be okay with another Khamenei coming in. They massively miscalculated this. And now they need this stability for these IPOs, for the stock market, for the smart money to take out. But after that, they will just continue this. Oh, new deal rukegi thode mein, 10 saal pehle bhi ruk gayi thi. And then things can go back to, because this serves a longer purpose for USA. A perpetual war helps them do fear-mongering, serves their industrialization of military complex.
Basically, war is good for business.
Yes. Why would they not? And it distracts people from so much that they need this to stay relevant. They need this to keep their profit machine churning.
Yeah.
So
Indian defense companies.
Indian defense companies can be useful. And recently this report came of CIPRI. That's a very significant report. Again, I don't know why don't more people talk about it. Ki India for the first time is now keeping its nuclear capabilities in a mated position, even in peacetime situation. Mated is like a nuke would have 3 moving parts. With the first, the nuclear warhead, which will actually hit and destroy. Second is the carrier, which will be the missile carrying it, like the BrahMos.
Yeah.
And the third would be the transporter, which can be an aircraft, it can be a submarine, it can be a land-operated battery. India used to keep these 3 separately in peace times. But now they're keeping 12 of such in mated position, even during peace times.
Why did they start doing this?
There has to be something going on that they know. Pakistan recently launched like 6 geostatic satellites in the last 16 months. And it is keeping a massive eye on Indian Jammu and Kashmir, on Indian Ocean region. That is where Indian Ocean, we can have second strike capabilities thanks to submarines. Now, if they know where our subs are, and the subs are most vulnerable when they are leaving the coast. They're most vulnerable. If they're keeping such an eye, so we will not be able to be in a position to create our second strike capability war ready if a war is already going on. And all those satellites are Chinese, by the way. So we need, even if we have no first use capability, we need to be prepared to at least have a first strike capability. We have a policy of no first use. But ये submarines को इस तरीके से रख के is of great virtue signaling, हम बोल रहे हैं first use नहीं है. बट ऐसा नहीं है कि सेकंड स्ट्राइक जब हो जाएगा तभी हम अपनी तैयारी करेंगे. नो, हम पीस टाइम में भी इतनी रख रहे हैं अपने पास एम्युनिशन रेडी न्यूक का कि यू कैन अराउंड.
एंड हैव यू एवर कम क्लोज टू getting into a nuclear attack with any country?
This is a very good, like it's very, I don't know, it's very, what's the word, unconventional or something. But Cuban Missile Crisis, we all know what happened in 1962. But during this time, like when Operation Sindoor happened, it is said that we were not on the brink of a nuclear war, but it is being circulated that Pakistan was thinking of carrying out underground nuclear tests to keep their nuclear facilities in war-ready position. They, at least as a virtue signaling, that they can use this option if they want to. India got to know about it. So India struck Noor Khan Air Base, where they store such facilities at the gates of it. Imagine 500 meters here and there, we would have struck their nukes. Not with a nuke. We didn't use a nuke. But with the BrahMos, we would have struck their nuke facilities. Imagine the radiation leaks it would have carried out.
There would have been an all-out war.
Exactly. We only struck at the gates of it. Just as a virtue signal ki don't fuck around if you don't want to find out. We know what you're doing. Don't test our patience. We have such capability, such precision that we can attack your facility at the gates. We could have also gone 500 meters deeper. In fact, abhi ek OSINT ki report thi, in which I'm forgetting the name, Murshid Khan Air Base. Murshid Khan Air Base was extremely well protected. It was not seen in satellites, but they just had an air duct. जहाँ से venting के लिए रखा हुआ था. That air duct was just 2 feet by 2 feet long. Our BrahMos went inside that Murshid Khan Air Base from just that 2 by 2 duct. We had such capabilities that we can find out what is what and then carry out a military strike so precise from just a 2 by 2 duct and that destroy that airbase. And it was so badly destroyed that recently Pakistani dismantled it completely. It was not worth the money to reconstruct it. To repair it. It had to be rebuilt. We did that.
Have you ever tried doing a peace deal with Pakistan?
Oh yes, we came very close. Agra Summit. Agra Summit was in 2001. Vajpayee and Musharraf were there. And there are some diplomats who have written in their books कि an almost in principle agreement had reached. कि यार कब तक ही चलेगा. Okay. Yeah. And the agreement was कि भाई जो कश्मीर आपका है उसे आप रखो, जो हमारे पास है उसे हम रखते हैं. Let's just end the border tensions. And that's my message to Pakistan also कि you are playing the global peacemaker, which is great. I can dismantle that theory in a second what you are really doing, but let's assume you're playing the global peacemaker from a global perpetrator of terrorism. यार वो चीज इंडियन बॉर्डर से भी कर लो ना. वहां पे आपका लेना देना नहीं, कुछ नहीं, आपका बॉर्डर क्या वहां पे कर रहे हो, वहां अरे यहां से शुरू कर दो. करते हैं ना, इसको खत्म करते हैं. बट द थिंग इज कि पाकिस्तान इज अ कंट्री वेयर द गवर्नमेंट डजंट हैव एन आर्मी. Army has a government. Like, why else would Shehbaz Sharif be accompanied by Asif Munir and everything? Like, do you think our Prime Minister be accompanied by our Army General or any other country? Abhi G7 chal rahi hai. In the photo op, all the heads of government are standing. किसी का आर्मी का लीडर खड़ा है, उनकी अलग मीटिंग होती है. ये भाई साहब अपने साथ में लेके जाते हैं. ऐसे मम्मी स्कूल लेके जाती है ना बच्चे को, उंगली पकड़ के लेके जाता है आसिफ मुनीर.
राइट.
Because they are a country where army has a government. Now, army is the biggest lala business in Pakistan. They own the maximum land, they own the maximum resources. They're a big enterprise. Okay, if you're an enterprise, you're a for-profit driven. Okay, if you're a profit-driven enterprise, what's your business? Your business is fear-mongering. Oh, you need us. Like Homelander, I'm the only one who can save you. You are not the real heroes. So, Pakistani army is like that. Whom do you fear-monger against? You fear-monger against Afghanistan on the Durand line and against India on LOC. So, the entire relevance of the biggest business enterprise in Pakistan is fear-mongering against India. Why would a peace deal happen?
So guys, thank you so much for watching till the end. I'm sure you'd learn a lot of things about how this world of geopolitics affects your money. Understanding how news that floats around the world and how that impacts your money in the Indian stock market, the global stock market, and how exactly you should allocate your money is a skill that you need to master if you want to manage your money like the top 1%. On that note, I'll see you in the next one.
Before you go, guys, if this video gave you even one insight and made you feel differently about money, don't just keep it to yourself. Share it with your friends or family member who could use it too. And if it has sparked a new thought or even made you disagree with me, drop a comment below and tell me why. Your critique helps me make this conversation sharper and more useful for you. As long as you have me subscribed, I'll make sure that you walk away with one new thing every Wednesday and Saturday.